In my teens, my father was very interested in aviation. His name was Edward Rudolph. He was a tailor. He was in business for himself. We used to go out to the airport, which at that time was, just a big field. And of course, it was just no runways, And you could take off at any time. You didn't need a flight record or anything like that. And they didn't take you up for $5. But we just went almost every weekend in the summer. It was just an interesting place to go on Sunday afternoons. I think I had just graduated from high school. It just seemed like it would be a fun thing to do. And because my father was so interested, it built up my interest. But the first time I went out to the school, that was the Universal Aviation School at the airport, he refused to give me a contract because I was a woman. And I don't know why I went back, but I did, and they did accept me as a student. At that time, I was the only woman taking lessons. I think I was very good at takeoffs and landings because I made so many of them. That was the main thing I did. But it probably took me a little bit longer to actually solo, and that was exciting, of course. I was flying with the instructor. We landed and got out of the plane, and he said, "You can take it up." And, I was surprised. I did go around the field and landed, and the instructor was standing there waiting at me, and I thought he was, complimenting me because I made the flight and landed very well. It felt so good. I went around again, and when I landed, he said, I was signaling you that the wind had changed, and you were landing in the wrong direction. But I didn't get the signal. And of course, they didn't have, we didn't have any instruments there. Just, it said we had turn and bank and a gas gauge, and that was about it. And of course, my dad was excited because I actually soloed. I made an altitude record. In fact, it was kind of a mystery to me because it's a very small plane, but it had the motor in back of it. It was fun to fly, but they quit making that plane because it was dangerous having the motor. Because in a crash, you could land right on top of it. But they decided they wanted to see how high it could go. But they didn't tell me. They just asked me if I'd do fly the plane because I was a woman. And after we got up, we took turns, but I took off and landed. It took several hours. But it was a beautiful day. The weather was good. Oh, and cold, very cold. But I didn't know it would be a record. They and so it was a big surprise to me when it turned up in the New York Times. I had my private pilot's license, I think, when I was 19. But then when I got the semi-commercial, I had to turn in, and I got my license But then I couldn't keep it up. I mean, I had a crazy idea with my own plane that maybe I could make some money doing things. And I found out that wasn't possible. I thought maybe I could keep up my private license because you didn't have to fly as many hours. So I was sorry I did it because I turned in my commercial license to get my private license back. Well, I wish I had kept that license because then I had to quit because it was Depression times to begin with. And then I got married and moved to Florida. Miami was a really sad place in the Depression. The banks had closed, the tourists didn't come, and it was really bad. So that was the end of my flying.